Photogrammetry is a technique for creating a three-dimensional object from a large number of photographs. Let's take a look at how to do it in Blender. Choose a subject that interests you. I was in an abandoned ruin, and I'm going to make a 3D model of the ruin, as well as some of the brick columns. First and foremost, we must take numerous photographs of the object from various angles. Keep the following rules in mind when taking photos. Maintain the same focal length throughout the photos. In order to have a large number of markers, the object should have an irregular surface. A reflective or shiny object, by the way, is not ideal. A cloudy day provides the best lighting conditions. As a result, there isn't much contrast in the textures between shaded and bright areas. If you are using a reflex or mirrorless camera, it is also a good idea to shoot in RAW format. Here is the photo sequence. As a quick post-processing step, I'll decrease the contrast by lowering the highlights and increasing the shadows values. The photos can then be exported as JPEG. We have a variety of software to help us create the 3D model. Meshroom is a good choice. It does a satisfactory work and is completely free. You can get it from elisavision.org. First and foremost, import all of the photos. The node sequence for the entire workflow is shown below. In the first step, the software searches for the features to track and aligns the photos accordingly. Then it generates the 3D meshes point cloud. Finally, the meshing and texturing steps are completed. Before you begin, save the file wherever you want. All of the files, in fact, will be saved in subfolders of your main project folder. Then, select the Start button. The computation can take a long time. When a step is completed, the corresponding bar turns green. Each step is visible in the right viewport. Each photo's detected features are also visible. To see the finished model, double-click on the last node, Texturing. We can also tweak each step, such as changing the texture's file format and size, as well as the final mesh's resolution. The 3D model and associated textures can be found in each node's output folder. I used another program called Photoscan to create the ruin. It is not free, but it was faster than Meshroom. However, the workflow is identical. We can now import the model into Blender. The first step is to reduce and optimize the 3D model's face count. Do not move, scale, or rotate the object after it has been imported. In order to project another texture in the optimized model, we'll need to import it again in Meshroom. As a result, it must be returned to its original location. Now I'll go into edit mode and delete all the faces I don't need. I still have about 1 million faces. So let's apply the decimate modifier and reduce the ratio value. Here, I reduce the number of faces to around 200,000. Because we heavily modified the object, the next step is to generate a new UV map. Export the model as an OBJ file. Finally, we must import the new model into Meshroom and project another texture. As a result, the correct texture will be projected in the optimized model. Essentially, we must replace the input mesh of the texturing node with the new object. So, delete this input and replace it with the path to the new object in the other input mesh field. Then, right-click this node and select Compute. After a few minutes, the new texture is created, and we can import the final object into Blender again.